Hi, I'm Leigh Richardson. I'm live here, and I am so excited with my guest today. I've got Jay Hag, and I'm sure we all know him from his former NFL days. He started off with the Cleveland Browns, and then he went to the Chicago Bears, and then he ended up with the Patriots. And now he is in Dallas, and he is a wellness influencer. And I'm so excited and so grateful to have you here with me today.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited. We're about to have some fun, right?
Absolutely. Because, you know, when I met you, I gave you a copy of my book.
Yes.
And afterwards, I thought, who would be a better person to talk about the brain-body connection and how you motivate people than someone that you've been doing it your whole life?
Absolutely.
And the hardest thing is keeping yourself motivated.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, when you think about the brain-body connection, what do you think about?
When I think about the brain-body connection, I think the brain actually controls the body. A lot of times we're a slave to our habits and our impulses, right? That's the physical touch, the emotional piece. But your brain actually controls whether or not you're going to be motivated to do something or demotivated, right? So it starts in the mind. I believe, there's no better time to write a book than now on the brain. So, yeah, it starts in the brain.
Well, you know, it does. And it's all about how that brain is wiring and firing, how it's sharing information, what the timing is. And everyone can tell you what their cholesterol is. And they can tell you all their physical science, their biomarkers. But nobody can tell you how their brain's working.
Wow.
And they're just now, you know, when people come in and you're like, oh, I'm really worried about my cholesterol. Oh, are you happy? You know, because happiness, what's going up here, drives everything that's going on down here.
Absolutely. A lot of my clients ask me, you know, how do you maintain your physical shape? How are you able to, hit on all cylinders like that? It's literally mindset. I got the opportunity to speak to our whole lifetime team about mindset, and that's literally where it starts. It starts in the mind. You know, when you hear about people doing phenomenal feats, even just, making it to the NFL, it didn't start with my body. I was a skinny kid. I was not the fastest or strongest. It started here with making a decision and actually visualizing, seeing myself there. So the work started in the mind, in the brain, right?
So it sounds like you set some goals, and not only did you set those goals, you visualized them happening.
Yes, ma'am.
And you held yourself accountable. Did you do that, or did you have a family member that was kind of helping you get there? Or?
I had all different types of support. The support system is very, very great and necessary to fulfill your visions, your dreams, and the goals that you want. So, my family was there the whole way. My mom, from a young age, she told me, I said, I'm going to be an NFL player. She said, do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. And I actually believed that, right? Talk about the mind. I believed that, and I said, okay, well, I don't know how I'm gonna, get to this level, but
I am.
Yeah, but I am,
Yeah.
And so, absolutely.
Well, that's such an important point, because if so many times every New Year's Eve we have all these people that make these fantastic resolutions, and how long are they good for that? 4 or 5 days, and they don't stick to it. And I think it's honestly because they haven't prepared themselves to stay committed to those resolutions.
Absolutely.
And going back on when you started off with the Cleveland Browns, I mean, I've had people, professional athletes, say, the most important thing I can do is stay calm.
Mm-hmm.
I perform my absolute best when I'm calm.
Absolutely. So, when I got signed, it was surreal. But like you say, with the calmness, I didn't get too high, nor did I get too low. Regardless of what happened, I had to be I know the physical part, you got to be ready for that, right? You have to be in physical shape. But getting to that level and maintaining at that level, it's the mental part, because they're going to put you in situations that you're uncomfortable with. It's extreme pressure. It's a lot of information to absorb with a playbook. There's a lot of dynamics when you're a rookie. You get a lot of attention. And so if your brain is not on, as you say, and your game is not on, it's easy to lose that focus and not achieve those goals. So for me, I had to calm down, and a lot of my time was not even looking at articles, not even looking at what was written online, not even worrying about that aspect, but worrying about my focus and handling my responsibilities and keeping that brain razor sharp.
So you were staying present in the moment.
Yes.
You were practicing a little mindfulness way back when.
Absolutely.
And because that's what it's all about, is staying present, And now you've moved on, and you're a wellness influencer, and you've got so many things going on. And one of the things I talk about repeatedly in the book, besides exercise, is nutrition. Because nutrition, my mom used to say, you are what you eat, and I did not like the sound of that. But I understand that, you have a big business, you work out a lot of people, but you're also doing more than just the physical piece.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you talk about health and fitness and being a wellness influencer, as I coined that phrase, it's when I sit down, it's much more than me working you out, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I can work you out and give you the very best workouts. I can give you a pro style workout, but if your nutrition is not on point and your brain is not on point, it's no workout that can overcome a bad diet. Nutrition is 80 to 90% of it, what you put in your mouth, because when you're in a session, we're asking your body to perform and give me a level of performance, whatever that challenge is. So if your body could respond, it would say, okay, you're asking me to give you this performance. No problem. I'll do what you say. But you got to give me the nutrients for me to perform like that. Who can jump in a car and hit that gas with the tank being on E? Or if it's a regular car, it takes regular gas, you put unleaded in it, we'll see how far it goes, right?
That is a great example, because it starts with nutrition. It also has a lot to do, I think, with just basic sleep.
Yes.
And sleep has a lot to do with lifestyle choices. And a lot of times we don't want to change our lifestyle.
Yeah, sleep is one of the most underestimated parts of, the wellness journey. Your body needs adequate recovery. For instance, one of my clients, she started working with me about 2 months ago. She came in, we got her weight, we got her measurements, we talked about nutrition, and I like to talk about your lifestyle, because again, it's much more than fitness. Okay, tell me what's going on. Well, she works in a high stress environment to where she feels like she has to take on much of the load, and just work. And so when it comes to getting sleep, she also has, I think she said 3 dogs. And so the dogs like to
Dogs are
like to
needy.
wake-
I have a couple of those.
The dogs
yeah.
like to wake her up at like 2, 3 a.m. So I said, on average, how many hours of sleep do you get? She's like, well, 5 or less. I was like, why? So she told me about the dogs. I wake up and feed them. I said, and she laughed so hard. I said, so you mean to tell me the dogs are hungry, you wake up and feed them? She said, yes. I said, well, it's time for you to take back control and tell those dogs they have to go to sleep. And I said, how many hours of sleep do the dogs get? She said, as much as they want. I said, exactly. They're getting their sleep. It's time for you to get yours.
So you bring up an excellent point, and that is self-care. Because I try to talk self-care all the time. Oh, I'm going to get a bottle of wine, and I'm going to watch Netflix all night long.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, how healthy is that for you? Because that's not self-care. Self-care is self-discipline.
Absolutely.
And self-discipline is self-love. But it's that self-discipline that's the hard part. That's probably something that you talk about a lot with people.
Yeah, it starts with, man, Miss Leigh, you are on it. You said, the self-love and self-care, self-awareness. So recently I had one of my clients, he won first place in a 60-day, right? He lost, we got him 64 pounds down in 60 days.
Wow.
So, yeah,
That's
pretty phenomenal.
amazing.
He came in weighing 504.7, and he weighed out at 441.9.
Wow.
So, everybody, who was at the weigh out celebration, they were like, wow, that's phenomenal. So there was a young woman who came up to me after this. She had an amazing story as well. She lost 20 pounds. I think it was around 20 pounds in 60 days. But she asked me, she said, how did you get him to lose that amount of weight? I said, well, it's a combination of things. I said, it's definitely, nutrition, but it all starts right here. And she was like, if I could just get into shape. I said, stop right there. I said, don't wait to become healthy to become healthy. I said, you have to start right now. I said, right now, you just went through a 60-day competition. You just lost 20 pounds. You're in the gym now. You're consistent, and you're going to continue to lose weight and achieve your goals. I said, you're healthy right now.
So, J-Hack, did you say turn your brain on to get your game on or not?
I did not
Yes,
tell
you
her.
did. That's what I heard you say.
I did not tell her, but the next time I see her, I'm going to have to, because that's your phrase, right?
That's the name of the book.
Brain on, game on. Turn your
Yeah.
brain on.
To get your
Yes,
game on.
To get your game on. I
Yeah.
got you.
All
got
right.
you. I promise I got you.
Well, thank you.
And I'm going to go live with her, too.
All right.
Yes.
Well, is there anything when you look back over your career? Because you've been in a lot of different environments.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you feel like has made you really the most successful?
Well, if that's where we're driving, and if you want to take a turn on this road, absolutely. I give all my credit to God. I feel like my life is not anything without God's power, God's divine presence. And so from a brain on standpoint, I feel my relationship with Him, allows me to manifest my gifts to the world, and having that mental clarity of faith and focus and things like that. So I attribute all of my success because I know that the things that I've seen, the places I've been, the amazing miracles that's happened in my life, that's not just myself, And so I would definitely attribute that success to him.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, because it's a mind, body, spiritual connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if you believe in God or Buddha or Allah, just the higher being.
Absolutely.
And you've got to have that power in your life.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's such an important piece. I feel it's even more important than the physical, because I feel the physical can have an effect on the mental and spiritual, but I feel the spiritual and mental aspect has more effect on the physical than anything. By what you think, what you internalize, where your mind state is, where your brain, the health of your brain, that can determine every other factor in your life. Financial, physical, nutritional. Because if I wake up and I say, I am healthy, I'm going to make healthy choices today. It starts with me putting healthy food in my mouth. Then now you just thought about that, you spoke it, right? You've affirmed it, and now you're going to gravitate toward, the celery juice, like you were telling me, celery juice or the apples or salad, versus, you know what? I don't feel so good, and there's just no hope for me.
Yeah.
I don't,
And that's where it all starts. Those negative thoughts create negative behavior, creates negative feelings.
There you go.
That's where it all starts. And there's a lot of that, if you just capture where those negative thoughts are coming from.
Absolutely.
And put some positive affirmations around them. Identify where the negative's coming from, replace it with positive. I mean, you don't have to go Tony Robbins style with incarnations, but a little positive energy goes a long way.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's your thoughts produce your actions, and so just like the conversation event we just went to, where the circle was distractions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is trying to distract us from our goals, right? From getting healthy, from maintaining health, from the time we wake up. Once we get going, we hear the cars honking, and it's so fast-paced, cell phones ringing, emails, I got to do this, and so if we're not aware of our mental state and what we allow and what we filter, then we're going to get off our path.
And it's easy to do. It's really easy to get off the path.
Especially in this day and age.
Well, it's 24/7. We live in the minute. And we want everything in the minute. So, well, I would like to say thank you so much, Jay Hag. It has been such a pleasure. And anybody that's interested in the book, it will be available. It's on Amazon. It'll be available December 4th off Amazon, or it'll be available November 1st off my website, The Brain Performance Center.
I already got it because she's so amazing.
Thank you so much.